if you can write, 3 lines of code into Luge, it really expands the possibilities of what Zoho can do. And then on the flip side, I mean, we have developers on our team, Vinu being one of them, a few others, that the things that they can do in Creator are, I mean, I look at them and I'm like, wow, that is absolutely incredible. Like, you just push the limits of Creator so far. We've built all kinds of custom applications that I mean, the ZML, like building these custom dashboards, client portals, everything like that we've really kind of pushed into. Looking at it, you wouldn't necessarily know that Creator can do that when you're looking at it out of the box, but some of the things that we put together are really amazing. So like you said, I think really it really spans from a user-friendly tool for someone who has never coded to, like you said, a developer's best friend. It can really be a great plugin to fill those patches that maybe the rest of Zoho 1 has a little hole here or there, and we just plug Creator right in there and it solves any issue that we have.
Hey Vinu, hey Kristin, welcome to Creator Conversations. Pleasure to have you guys here. A beautiful, weather out there, and I think we have all had a very great day. So to this great day, we are adding a beautiful conversation here. Vinu, I will start from you first. You have been, you've started your professional journey. You've been a Zoho partner since 2019, and then now it all started from you being a Zoho customer way back then. Mm-hmm. So first we'll start with you. I want to quickly get into your journey. So quickly introduce yourself to our viewers. What do you do? What is Nimbis Designs all about? And then we'll dive into, the Creator conversation.
Sure. I started as a Zoho partner in 2019, but was using Zoho as a customer for a few years before that. Before that even, we were using Google Sheets and Drive to manage our small business. The program was called Go Baby Go. There's many chapters across the globe, but in the East Coast, we were managing workshop events to bring in children with disabilities, with cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, etc., to help them with assistive powered vehicles. So we would take cars from Toys R Us, from Amazon, ship them to site, and have team building events, have corporate and clinical partners attend to help customize these cars in a DIY manner to help kiddos gain early mobility. So very powerful program, something I'm very passionate about. And we were using software to manage events at scale, and this can be a big challenge. So our deals were events, and we realized soon that with the advent of CRM and more focus, that Zoho CRM was an incredible solution to help us with workflow automation and bring our processes together as a small team, doing large events and kind of bringing nonprofit focus in the US region. We quickly started leveraging additional solutions, taking our Google Sheet automations, our Google Forms, etc., and leveraging Zoho Creator to help with many of these. To bring a better experience for the kiddos, to deliver more professional workshops. We were able to do cool events such as the Daytona 500 a couple times. We have done exotic car shows where you have the big Ferrari and the kiddo with the little Ferrari next to it. So you can't make it up. It's a beautiful, beautiful mission, and how Zoho really helped us to empower that mission and bring that out to more and more families. From there, I moved into more software consulting because we realized the impact that Zoho could have on more industries. My background was in biomedical engineering in undergrad, and we wanted to bring solutions from many industries back into healthcare was my initial focus. But very quickly, we had Kristen join us and help us really make Nimbis Designs the premium partner that it is today.
Nice. It's very cute to imagine, a big Ferrari out there and then a kid in a tiny little Ferrari out there. So Yeah, beautiful journey. Thank you so much, Vinu, for this. Kristen, coming back to you, I mean,
Yeah.
you both have been friends since college. How did he convince you to,
Yeah.
come to join his company? So, your journey now.
I was working as a stream restoration environmental engineer out of school. That's what I went to college for. Vinu has been one of my best friends since we met on our freshman floor in college, University of Delaware. So I was doing, on the side, I was doing volunteer work for a local community theater. I was setting up their stage management and their auditions, and I was using a lot of Google Sheets, a lot of Google Forms to help with the auditions of the different community members coming through. And I was talking to Vinu, and I was telling him about the automations I was putting into place, and he said, that's what I do, right? I have absolutely no idea. So he told me about this thing called Zoho that he was using, and I hadn't heard of it. But quickly enough, I kind of got into it. He brought me on to help him out part-time while I was still kind of working as my engineer on the side. That's when kind of COVID hit around that time. And I started working from home. So I was doing, environmental engineering during the day and some Zoho work in the evenings. And pretty soon I realized that I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed speaking with clients, doing some of the development work, although I did tell him when I joined that I was not a coder in any way and I would not be writing any code. Day one, he gave me a code, of course. And now I write Deluge. But I did eventually, October of 2020, I did quit my engineering job and I joined him full time. I said, as long as you have healthcare, and he said, your first job is finding me healthcare. So I found us healthcare. We kind of really got started, and we have since hired. We're up to 16 team members across the United States. It's 10 full-time members, just working in consulting, development, analytics. I'm the COO. He's the CEO. And we keep things rolling.
Nice. It's such a beautiful journey being for you both. I mean, of course, there have been challenges on the starting part. There would have been its own, you would have dealt it with it. I mean, initially when you started the company, of course, challenges are everywhere out there. So any certain challenges you faced when you started off the company in terms of implementations, in terms of team handling, what were those and how did you go about it?
Definitely, there's a lot of challenges in scaling a small business and starting. So moving from Go Baby Go, I started freelancing and taking on clients. My background in University of Delaware was as biomedical engineering. So, my interest was in how can we use Zoho, just like with Go Baby Go, to scale healthcare solutions, bring value to customers, patients and doctors. A lot of the problems in healthcare are not that we have, bad doctors. It's that we have bad systems, and those systems can, when we create efficiency, they can reduce stress. Like we're not just considering the, patient experience or the patient relationship management, but also the practitioner experience as well, right? But the early challenge was taking that knowledge in Zoho. We've done so many advanced implementations in our CRM, in our Zoho Creator to automate and streamline our processes. I thought that I had all the best answers. Using a multi-select lookup to have that multi-contact association, but as we see when making design choices in the Zoho space and really in any software space, the software as a service space, those advanced customizations also have cons that we lose native features, right? So we need to think about the design from a larger, more holistic level in order to consider the redundancies of Zoho. Now there's more low, no code solutions, and Zoho Creator can do even more, but the CRM is able to handle some of that as well. So where do these pieces fit together? It's always a rolling challenge. So as much as we know, we have to be able to move at the speed of business, right, and the speed of innovation that Zoho has, which is much higher than other competitors in the CRM space. I think the second challenge is certainly, like with any company, is bringing on the right resources and team members. So we got the best first one, and from there our CFO as well. So our specialties are in analytics, development, and then consulting as well. But scaling that up with team members, I like to advise anyone interested in Zoho, it's projects, projects, projects. You got to cut your teeth on a variety of projects, and also, in my opinion, a variety of industries. Just like the drywall screw became the orthopedic screw. There's answers in every industry that we can pull, and with my passion to bring back into healthcare, but also like see common business needs and common business modules and create that cross understanding. But that requires a diverse team that is able to understand those industries. So we're at what 16? Yeah.
Yep.
So across those specialties of our everyone comes in with their own background and experience, and we want to make sure that we can tie that all together to deliver the best solutions for our clients.
Kristen, coming to you, I mean, Vinu introduced you as like customer specialist also. So, I mean, before I dive into the aspect of what are the challenges, customers, the common challenges you saw when you were, initially like having conversation with customers.
Yeah.
I want to go back to your previous answer where you mentioned about, you didn't know a line of code.
Mm-hmm.
How was the experience with Zoho Creator? Because there is a perspective that people are taking it like, Zoho Creator is more like a development platform, like developer platform.
Yes.
And at the same time, developers look at it as a platform, a low-code platform, which is not like gonna be very friendly with it. Like we are not gonna get a hang of it or something. But definitely we have seen experiences of other developers sharing their perspectives like Zoho Creator is developers' best friend now.
Yes.
Those are the kind of words which are being used now.
Yeah.
100%.
Now I want to get a perspective of a user, like a business user who you didn't know a line of code. How was your experience, first interaction with Zoho Creator?
Yeah, like I said, I took one course in college of coding, and it was not my favorite course. I was not very good at it, I'll be honest. So I kind of had this mindset of like, I'm not going to be good at the coding, development, anything like that. So I picked up Creator, and I believe my first Creator project was putting together an application for a food. They sold like pizza sauce to pizzerias in New York City, and they needed an application to go out on the road to use like a tablet. So put together all of their collect orders, things like that. So it was really, really nice to be able to first experience Creator from a drag and drop perspective, putting together a form. I have a lot of experience putting together forms, very simple. And then just the deluge part of it came more naturally than some of the other codes that I touched in my, coursework. So, I mean, some of the documentation, that Zoho puts out with the deluge, the API documentation, was very, very helpful to just be able to search online, kind of find out what I was looking for. Obviously, Vinu really helped me through all of it, but it was a lot more user-friendly to start than I would have ever expected. And we kind of see this when we're bringing on new team members as well. We always give them like a developer challenge. And even when we're hiring a consultant, we still have them poke around a little bit in Creator or in CRM on the code side, on the deluge side. And we find that even the people who say they have no coding experience, they can pick up a little bit, just enough to, kind of do something a little simple just to really expand. Because even if you can write, 3 lines of code in Deluge, it really expands the possibilities of what Zoho can do. And then on the flip side, I mean, we have developers on our team, Vinu being one of them, a few others, that the things that they can do in Creator are, I mean, I look at them and I'm like, wow, that is absolutely incredible. Like, you just push the limits of Creator so far. We've built all kinds of custom applications that I mean, the ZML, like building these custom dashboards, client portals, everything like that we've really kind of pushed into. Looking at it, you wouldn't necessarily know that Creator can do that when you're looking at it out of the box, but some of the things that we put together are really amazing. So like you said, I think really it really spans from a user-friendly tool for someone who has never coded to, like you said, a developer's best friend. It can really be a great plugin to fill those patches that maybe the rest of Zoho 1 has a little hole here or there, and we just plug Creator right in there and it solves any issue that we have.
Acts as a glue.
Yeah, Creator can be good as its own standalone for applications. Like we've internally like taken effectively Zoho projects, but made that
Yes.
as a custom app because we can then integrate various Zoho applications like sprints and other task management solutions, desk tickets as well, and use that in a centralized project management system with Zoho Creator. So certainly standalone applications work, but like Kristen's saying, we can connect across Zoho One, and maybe it's just a button that opens a Zoho Creator app, allows you to upload a file, an image file, for example. In one solution, we shoot that over to Zoho Catalyst to do image resizing, so it standardizes the image dimension. And then we save that back to the CRM record and update that as the record image. So when you look in the list view in CRM, quality of life, visual bug is that if images aren't of some standard width or height, it just looks weird in the list view, right? So we can standardize that and make it look perfect, and we can save all those versions in Zoho Work Drive, which has a ton of storage. But the creator components of that is just a very small, I need a button to open a form, to add a file that's a valid file that acts as a relay. So it can be a very simple node as well, or like a custom lead conversion using the same form that you see when you hit convert lead in CRM. We can do those same things in creator, but we can add things like custom potential duplicate matching. So if there is a contact that exists already, or even more than one, we can show that in a sub form. So you can say, I want to merge it with this one, or I want to create a new contact. And that still just uses the native zoho.crm.convert lead method, but it packages all that with Creator and allows us to create a custom interface for that.
You were showing me your Nimbis dashboard quite some time ago, like when we were starting the podcast. I was like totally amazed to see that one, like every stat presented in such a clear format, right? And that too on a mobile. It was so interactive. Like, thank you so much for sharing those experiences with us. Kristin, I'm going to stay a while to you. Business challenges.
Yes.
There are clients out there. I mean, adoption from our side is one thing, but adoption from the customer side is a different aspect. How was that? And what were the other challenges apart from the user adoption?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges, you see it across, our internal side and as well as all customers, is getting the business process down. So a lot of times when we talk to new clients or new customers, we have to make sure that we understand their entire business process before we can implement anything for them. And so often they don't have the full business process written down yet. So we have to go through a lot of consulting and a lot of discovery with them to, really understand everything that they do. And we do that on our internal side too. So that's how we end up coming up with all these fun creator apps to patch our own holes. But on their side, just having the ability to say, we have this creator tool and we have the knowledge of creator to, patch the hole, like Vinu was saying, that they may have, if they're just meeting with the Zoho team for just a more generic demo, it's really nice when they can come to us and we can say, yes, it can do that, but we just have to, plug a little creator in here or plug a little creator in there. So Zoho Creator is a really, really amazing tool to be able to help us, tell the customer, yes, that is possible. We just have to, kind of do it off to the side a little bit and then tie it back into your normal process. And like Vinu was saying, it's sometimes as simple as clicking a button and showing the customer a new UI that really sells them on the whole Zoho suite. Because it shows a much we can build a nice, really clean portal, a clean portal for their clients sometimes, or for their internal employees. One of the things that I did with one of my healthcare clients was they were using a texting SMS plugin for Zoho CRM, but there wasn't a good interaction piece to do if they were interacting with multiple text messages at one time. So I just threw a button in there. I opened up a creator application on the side, and it's really as simple as them marking who should each of those texts be assigned to in the CRM, syncs right back, and it's so much easier than them having to click on one, assign it to somebody, click on one, assign it to someone else. Just giving them the UI to be able to quickly go about their day because, they're in the healthcare field, they have to really go. So yeah, Creator is just an amazing piece to be able to throw into a business process to keep the customer, with their current business process and not kind of stray so far from it to, be like, oh, we're really kind of ruining our current business process to have to go into a new software. We're really bringing the software a little bit more to them, and Creator really helps us do that.
Nice. Both of you mentioned healthcare. I think that's one of the initial industry you started working with also. Just diving into a bit more into the healthcare, how's creative fitting into that industry? How's the adoption happening, number one? What are the initial, what were the initial software or were they using any technology? Because when we talk about healthcare, it's more like about saving lives, contributing to the health benefits, all those things. So how's Creator doing that? Maybe we can start with Vinu and then we can go to Kristin. So
yeah, there's a couple of micro industries within healthcare that we service. Healthcare is about 30% of our overall business. You have, small practitioners, for example, they exit school and they've trained for, however many years, 13. I went to med school for a couple of years as well. I could not do that anymore. Where do they learn the business skills to now run their clinic that they want to do as an individual practitioner? We see these with behavioral health and things like that, right? So we can implement software solutions and help with, smaller clinics. We have larger clinics. We have health insurance. We have durable medical equipment. The first project that I did in Zoho Creator was electronic faxing for diabetes medication refills, and especially during COVID, this was really awesome to be able to have a fully digital process where a client could sign up on a website with their interest, and we could capture the data, verify, mail merge into using Zoho Creator record templates, package the various types of either diabetes main prescription or med refill prescriptions, whatever the different templates are, verify the output, and then shoot it over with an eFax API and Ring Central to practitioners. So doctor's office would go review the prescription, fill out the last parts that with most of the data mail merge for them, right? And then sign and fax it back. We'll handle the inbound fax event and cadence them in the CRM through the system. So Creator was very valuable to, and especially at that time, to package that integration much more easily. And since then, we've worked with a number of other durable medical equipment solutions clients.
One of our biggest clients is a mental health facility. It's a small practice. They have a couple of locations, and we've done every possible Zoho app. They have Zoho One. They use everything. They came to us using Zoho, which is a little bit more unique. They were a very, very early adopter, and they really loved the program, but they hadn't found someone to really dive into it. They hadn't had a partner with Creator experience before. They were looking to really kind of continue on their Zoho path. So we put together a few different Creator applications for them. So one of the biggest ones is before they're using a separate EMR, and they were every night they were exporting an Excel sheet, and they were changing it around and deleting columns, and then manually importing it into the CRM, and they could only hold one appointment per person in the CRM. So they had no appointment history whatsoever. And they were sometimes their patients had multiple appointments in one day, so they wanted to be able to send appointment reminders to these patients, but they could only hold one appointment per patient in the CRM. So the patients were getting incorrect. If they had multiple appointments, they weren't getting reminders. It was a mess. So what we did is we took Zoho Creator and we put it as a middleware solution, and we said, all you have to do is just export one CSV file from your emailer. That's it. Because they didn't offer an API, which is silly. But they just have to export one. They put it directly into this Creator application, and then on the back end in Creator, it pulls all of the data, it changes it all around, it and then it exports it all the way directly into CRM. So it's creating appointment records for every single appointment. It's if there's any updates on appointments day over day, it's matching them to the existing appointments in the CRM and updating those. It's canceling appointments that have been canceled. And then from there, we can tie it into the rest of our CRM. So send out the correct appointment reminders, send out canceled appointment reminders, everything around there. So it has just been a complete change of how the productivity at the company, and also they're spending so much less time communicating with patients and saying, sorry, you got the wrong message, sorry about that, sorry. So that has just been just that one app in the middle has really just improved their business process so much. We've done a couple other apps with them as well. One that we're working on currently is a clinician app. So their clinicians, they don't really need them in the CRM. It's mostly their front staff and, their admin team. But the clinicians are going from appointment to appointment, and they don't really have time to go into the CRM, learn the CRM. So we're building them a separate Creator application where they can just log into Creator and do only the things that they need to do. So right now they're talking a lot on Click, and they're, every appointment that they have has a certain code. So the front desk is asking them manually in Click for the code, and then they're sending the code when they remember to. So as part of the app, we're going to build in a code matrix that will automatically pull from the type of appointment and the patient and their insurance and everything, and generate the list of applicable codes so that the clinician can just choose the correct code. It can sync back, generate the invoice and books, and go from there. So we have a lot of fun things coming up, but it's really nice that we can build something that's so integral and connected to the rest of the Zoho system. But it's going to be so simple for the clinicians to use once they're just looking at it. They can use it on their iPads or their computers or their phones as they're going from room to room throughout the day.
That's diagnostic codes?
Yes, diagnostic codes, yes.
That's super cool.
Yep.
There's a lot of, even with larger healthcare networks, home healthcare, hospice, etc., with the EMR challenges. EMR is mandatory for scaling your healthcare, but only certain ones offer APIs. So we need these types of middleware solutions, and it highlights that it's still a very simple Creator interface. So from the user perspective, just like Apple, it's very simple, right? But in the background, that's where all the heavy lifting is done. So the developer's best friend part is that's for us, but then the user loves the simplicity and the customizability of the interface, so that they can just take the actions exactly as they need and keeps it lean and packaged. So this is like an example of almost an internal portal instead of like a externally facing client portal, right? We've done the solutions in Creator also to manage verification of benefits and eligibility for healthcare against those diagnostic codes. So we can integrate with solutions like PocketDoc, I can't remember the other name, or just structure and streamline the process so that you can take the result of and manage like how many meeting appointments that the patient can attend under that insurance for that encounter, right? So there's some cool around verification of benefits. With EMRs, we have done API integrations with WellSky, with Athena. There's one more EMR, but yeah. The EMR integrations are interesting, but the data that's structured in the CRM is also very important, right? So we can use Creator to help vary data out. We can also just do asynchronous functions in Creator or standalone function, in CRM. But Creator allows us to pair those functions with user interfaces to make sure that data is operating in between the two. Hospitals and healthcare businesses need a CRM. They can't exist with just an EMR, because an EMR is like an ERP. It's their operational platform for their business. It's that industry-specific solution, just like you might need something like ServiceNow or ServiceTrade for manufacturing or implementation, right? So the EMR is required, and that's where clinicians are going to be operating out of. But how can we get the data from lead intake and for their first appointment, make sure all of their forms are filled out, so that when they come to the office, they've already streamlined that process. And if they haven't done that, just hand them an iPad, hit check-in, hand them the iPad, let them fill out and finish their forms, automatically email them to chase it. So we've implemented these solutions to, I mean, I'm not the best patient sometimes. I don't, track my calendar appointments and things like that as well as I should. And, those reminders are important so that I can, I would be able to stay on time with that. And then when we're able to structure the data appropriately, syncing over to the EMR, make sure that there's parity so that when, solutions like Kristen's need to bring data back into the system, matching primary key identifiers already can be a challenge. So we need to make sure there's some parity between those solutions to bring back.
You guys were very detailed about what you spoke about. Like it clearly put out like how in a healthcare there are various operations like aspects performed. Like operations perform in every single process, right? And every detail needs to be covered when we do that study. So you've done a great job. So thank you so much for sharing that use case. And I think one other thing was when we were talking before podcast, I think you even mentioned you're very good with accounting.
Yes.
And you have a strong background over there. So just diving into that, 30% business comes from healthcare, okay. But what about financial institutions? So Creator, financial institution, especially when it comes to I think it is Creator being a fit into that industry is, of course, we have seen a lot of use cases around it, but I want to hear it from your experience, your insights. How's the adoption been there and the user perspective there, especially in terms of when financial institutions come into the picture, the multi-currency things, those things, as well as the compliance, the security, the large amount of data that involves when it comes to financial institution. Yeah. Tell us about that. So what do you think, where do you think Creator, how do you think Creator is, helping financial institutions boost their business and how is the user taking it up?
Yeah. Accounting has been a very fascinating space for us to develop our business in. I think it's close to 35, almost 40% of various types of accounting groups or financial services groups. And there's a number of operations that we go through, but also just to start, solutions like QuickBooks, we're seeing an incredible traction for migration over to Zoho Books, where it's not just the clients of accountants, but accountants themselves that are moving over and using Zoho Books because they're seeing how efficient the solution is, and then with some of the benefits of integration within the space, right? Whether it's in QuickBooks or Zoho Books, we can use Zoho Creator to bridge the gap in by creating some custom interfaces. One benefit, for example, is I don't want to give many users books access, even limited books access, but I can still have them from the CRM, hit a button to open a Creator app, and then raise a sales order and then an invoice accordingly, right? So they're using Creator, we're hitting the APIs in Books, and we're pushing the data over, right? So we can allow cross user cross user access without compromising security. At the core of Zoho Books, QuickBooks, and all accounting is the chart of accounts. That ledger is can be annoying as it changes over the years. Sometimes you may deprecate a previous chart of account and a previous account, and so in order to do that in Books and QuickBooks cleanly, you may need to take your transactions and reclassify them. So we've done a Creator app where you can take one chart of account line, we can load all the transactions under it, and you can say, I want to move it to the second one, and on submit, we'll push that over for each transaction. We'll run through and attempt that update. It may not catch everything because maybe that record is locked for some reason, and it can't be edited in the books, but we can get the vast majority of those transactions moved over to the system. Even outside of direct, accounting or financial services, for say a restaurant group, we've worked with a restaurant group down in Florida to build a Creator solution that took the data from their point of sale solution and takes the export of that, aligns that against the chart of accounts. So it could be something like food and alcohol sales, right, of various types, and we want to align that to the correct chart of account, and maybe we want to align that to the correct sub account that's specific for that location, that restaurant, right? So we're able to use Creator to, like Kristen's, CSV uploader, right? Drop the file in, parse it, and see it in the subform table, and then do an automated matching, attempted matching of the chart of accounts. The user can then verify it quickly, and then if they want to change something or something got matched incorrectly, they can correct it. Once all the records are set, then you can submit it and push it over to Zoho Books and create a custom journal entry to make sure that all the accounting flow is correct there. That includes solutions like integrating webhooks from authorize.net or other payment processing solutions to bring that into Zoho. So it's, again, not limited to accountants. Financial automation, financial technologies apply to all businesses, right? So we can still, every business has a accounting division, right? And so it's going to apply to everyone. Yeah. Any accounting projects that you like to talk about?
Sure. There's one that we just finished for actually an accounting and business consultant company, and they were doing custom proposals for their customers, where she was opening up a spreadsheet and writing yes in the columns where they wanted that service, then going in and manually creating the deal inside of Zoho CRM. So our goal was to kind of make that process a little bit more automated with actual products and creation of deals in the CRM. So we built her Creator app. It mimics the spreadsheet where we can pull in all of the active products from CRM right into Creator. She can check off which one she wants, put down how frequently she wants to provide them to the client. At the end, she can sync that right back to CRM, create a subform on a deal, and then continue on from there with her deal. So that, I think there's another client that we built something almost exactly like that for. So that is, that's the accounting client, but I think similar concepts can be kind of across all different industries too, packaging different products and sending them out, whether that's manufacturing or accounting. But we really have found that exact process to be very, very helpful in accounting, where they're packaging their services, because you're a small business, bookkeeping is important, but also payroll is important, and your taxes at the end of the year. So these businesses that are the clients of our clients, they want to have a bunch of services and package them together. So we found that across two of our major accounting firms.
Yeah, the challenge with those services is they're periodic in different ways, right? Some are quarterly, some are annual, some are based on IRS dates that change, right?
Yes.
Those dates are different for every year. So, like, where do you keep those central org variables so the client doesn't have to ask us to update once they get new notice, right? And have that just integrate into the solution already, and then to automatically kick off that new Q1 bookkeeping project, or Q2 payroll, bring that data or that project in to say, hey, client, I need this information so that we can stay on track throughout the year, and then your end of year taxes filing is more easily done. So we need to automatically create the next deal or project to then on that frequency for those client services. Some clients also then, as they get bigger or as they scale back based on whatever challenges, they may need, after the first and maybe the leads module where we set those services and we kick off the account with those services, then, maybe they need to, sign a change order to say, hey, I need to go up a plan or down a plan, or I need to add this service or drop this service. So we can use Creator to, not just in that lead, the same button can be in accounts to manage up or down movement, right? So that the Creator can be very helpful for multiple module management in CRM. That's one of the times that's a key flag that we need some middleware solution, one user page, one UI page that has to act on multiple modules. Just kind of taking off that same, like, let's say it's payroll taxes or just taxes at the end of the year, right? One of the common challenges in accounting space and also real estate space is the collection of documents. Right?
Yes.
So we've built a very, very powerful solution to help automate and streamline document management in the accounting and real estate spaces. It can be semi-flexible. So for each account, for each client, configure, hey, well, they have Bank of America, right? So at the end, I need each quarter's bank statement, right? So you can or each month's bank statement. So you set the frequency of the report, you set, what are the report types, and then you put that request out, and we'll chase and cadence that, we'll approve, clear the documents as they come in. But the Zoho Creator solution allows us to send out notifications to say, hey, you need to upload 3 documents, and it's these 3 documents, and we can automate those notifications and chasing. If the client hasn't submitted those documents, that can be a blocker to their meeting, and so we'll notify internally and have the client reschedule accordingly because documents were not received in time. One more example of applying Zoho Creator in the accounting space, with QuickBooks. QuickBooks has a deposits module, but Zoho Books does not. So like Kristen was saying, we'll use Creator to work around some of those limitations. We don't want to say just don't use Zoho Books. If you want to have those deposit entities, we've created like a quick Zoho Creator app to take all the payments from the previous day, let you verify the totals, and then on submit we'll create the journal entry with a custom field of type equals deposit, to move all the cash from the payments chart of account to the correct, or from the clearing account into the correct end chart of account. Also, we apply, for example, a CSV importer to take the bank statement of what were the payments that were driven by ACH that came directly to the bank. We can upload that into a CSV parser in Zoho Creator like we do many times, and verify the transactions and totals. On submit, we'll make all of the payment records in the CRM for you, in Zoho Books for you, just pushing that data over. So we can not only use Zoho Creator to help fill gaps in the Zoho Books and accounting space, but we can also use it where the accountants themselves, like the controller of the business, can actually use Creator to accelerate their process that they're doing regularly. It's kind of similar to making like a recurring invoice, but we're doing these in other entities as well. So that I think that the solutions for accounting are very, very powerful with Zoho Creator.
Nice. Kristen, coming to you, I mean, of course, we have spoken about healthcare, financial institutions part. Any business would revolve around the benefits part. Automation is clear, a big benefit out there, but in terms of numbers, what's the score? Like, what's the achievement like businesses are getting there?
So I mean, it's across, like you said, all of the different industries, and I think different industries really value their savings differently. So, I was mentioning kind of the mental health clinic earlier, and I think one of their biggest, savings that they value the most is the time and the customer interactions. So to them, I mean, just the number of customer interactions that they've had to have that are negative have really decreased. I mean, they were spending, hours every single day just, calming down customers, telling them, sorry, our tech was not working, and that number has really decreased, where they're only, spending maybe once every week something goes slightly wrong and they have to say something, and not any fault of theirs, just the customer or the client, I guess in their case the patient, didn't respond to a form or something. So it's really decreased the amount of time that they're spending talking to their patients in a negative way, so that they can focus on the positives instead. In the accounting space, obviously it's a little bit more financially driven. So you're going to see, the time. It also is all about the time saved for all the different industries, but they're going to be focused a little bit more on the money and the financial saves. So I don't know. I mean, we had one of our biggest clients on the accounting side. He gave a number. I mean, do you remember what that number was in the case study that he did? But I mean, hundreds and hundreds of hours every year. Just I think he estimated, a few thousand hours of manpower every year that Zoho has saved him. And Creator, all the apps that Vinu mentioned before, we built for that. Some of them that we built for them. Creator really, really driving that. So time and money, of course, and those negative interactions being reduced. But I think also just a positive, the other thing that they really like is the positive direction that they feel that they're going with Zoho. And I think the more that we can show them that they're getting these benefits, the more that they're willing to put more money and more time into, working with us, working with Zoho, and then of course that gives them more gains in the long term, of course. So I think that's also a big, they're taking the time away from the negatives with their customers, and they're saving the time, and then they're reinvesting that time back into working with Zoho products, working with, gaining the trust in the software as a service, gaining the trust in us, and then of course Zoho and Creator and all the other platforms.
Thank you so much, Kristin, for sharing that. That's really good to hear. I mean, when you save a lot of time, you can put back that same time again into the business and keep making more results. Vinu, coming back to you, I mean, we have covered the industry aspect of how creators benefiting these industries, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure like there are other partners who have shared on manufacturing, on nonprofits, on education. So it clearly shows how Creator is across different industries and it's making its own impact. Now, coming to the product capabilities part, right? I mean, over the few years, I think no conversation goes without AI. AI always stays on top, and I think today businesses are also looking for tools which will have AI in it. And Zoho Creator in the past few years have made that transition into AI to they have AI modelers which helps them automate different processes through object detection, OCR, everything out there. I want to understand two perspectives here. One is like how's your personal experience been with using the AI in Creator, and at the same time what impact or do you think AI could make more in the coming future to businesses adopting technology? And the third aspect is again, the financial and healthcare is again there. How is AI going to benefit, like AI and Creator going to benefit those institutions out there? So over to you.
Yeah, you mentioned OCR. So Zoho Creator already has had some native AI packages for some small microservices. A simple app we did with Zoho Creator was for ourselves is just a business card scanner.
True.
I know Zoho has one as well, but we scrape the business card to the best of our ability, and then we have a lead form, and again that allows us in our system cross-module access to create a contact and an account record as needed, right?
Right.
So some solutions are just not possible without some technologies like OCR and the other advanced integrations that Zoho Creator has, like Lens, for example, that they've integrated. As Zoho Creator adds more and more AI features, definitely within the platform, that's going to accelerate our coding. It's going to make it easier for us to debug and identify challenges. The code consistency will improve across various developers. So there's going to be a number of benefits for that will enable users to work better in Zoho Creator. We can even, there's two ways that we can leverage AI outside of Zoho Creator that's still involved. Zoho Creator can call endpoints that we're going to push data over and asynchronously or synchronously receive AI responses back. We also can just within GPT itself work with Deluge or in CRM client script we can do very easily and based on the coding because it's essentially JavaScript. So there's some very big benefits of leveraging AI to make our development time much faster while increasing the quality of the solutions we're able to deliver. Honestly, there's solutions that just weren't even possible for us to implement just in a timely fashion or within the budget for what a client would need, right? So that cost reduction makes new solutions, higher end solutions, more accessible to clients and especially more modern solutions. So Zoho Creator is already mobile friendly at base, but when we make a custom solution, like I said before, there's some downsides like the custom HTML or ZML is already mobile friendly, but HTML and CSS allows us to use something like even Figma and GPT or other AI integrations to quickly make advanced CSS and HTML that looks really, really slick and still is mobile friendly or whatever else fits within the client.
And there is the prompt thing also today.
The prompting is very exciting to be able to, what Kristen was able to do, just, drag and drop forms. But once, you've done it, 100 times, I know what the idea is. Let me just put the, instruction in and spit out most of my form for me, and I'll just go do the detail cleaning, right? We can leverage, but excited, certainly for code-based and for, the acceleration that AI brings for coding is really magnificent.
Nice. And what's your perspective, Kristin, on this?
The same thing pretty much that he said. We've had some clients definitely that are interested in the AI aspects and connecting Creator to AI, especially bringing in the solutions that GPT and other endpoints will bring them. One of the examples is one of our healthcare clients. They do healthcare or mental health consulting, so they go and they meet with people who are trying to get back into the workforce, or people who need to be cleared to stand trial or anything like that. So they'll consult with them, and they need to fill out, pages and pages and pages of forms, and the lead clinicians are having all their time sucked up by filling out these forms over and over again. And really, we've worked with them on scoping out and hopefully implementing soon an AI solution where we're training the AI model in the voice of the doctor, of the clinician, and using the AI to, he'll type in a few different, keywords and what the result of the consulting is, and then have AI, hit the endpoint and be able to spit out, these forms. They have so many different paragraphs, and all the different paragraphs have different different tones, and they change based on the type of consultation it is. So it is very complicated to just be doing it over and over and over again, but it does follow a pattern where if we can have an AI endpoint help us with that, that'll save hours every day of, a very valuable clinician's time where he could be doing other consults or helping out with the rest of the clinic. So that's one example that we're really excited for, and I think a lot of firms could use AI for a similar concept of we're filling out these forms or we're doing this over and over again, and if we can train the AI to kind of sound like us or work like us, as long as we're putting the inputs in and getting it back out, could be very helpful for reducing repetitive work.
Yeah, the feedback loop is really important based on the AI output. It still will, be reviewed by the human, but needs to, if the majority of the work is done, it's like, as soon as I see the wrong thing that's on the paper, I know exactly what to correct it. So it's still far, far faster. In this specific build, there's like 8 sections in the report, and section 1 is essentially just mail merge, so no AI is needed, right? And we just have to select the check boxes relevant, and we just mail merge the content, or conditionally template the content, right? Section 2 needs to be more, it's still in the doctor's voice, but it needs to be more summary based on the information from the case, right? Section 3 may need to be more analytical, right? So for each of these tones, we may leverage different bots in GPT to be able to pre-package the instructions and get those services out. But then once the data comes back in, we need to present it to the user, allow them to finalize it, because also many of these processes are going to happen asynchronously. The user will submit, and ChatGPT will respond quickly back, but some of these services may take a little bit more time, and then so we push that back, and they can confirm from there. So once all 8 sections are completed, we've pre-filled all the information in each of those forms with the content that we want in each of the sections. Then they can finalize the report, and we mail merge it, or we take the content and merge it into the document, and it gets out there, right? So the client has all these snippets, but they're spread across all of the past reports. This is a great use case to be able to train AI models to facilitate. And Zoho Creator allows us to have a run an interface, but then shoot out to the microservice, take the action back, and present allow the user that streamlined, consolidated approach.
Nice. I mean, I think the overall conclusion comes around like earlier we had from the traditional approach to the low code approach, the development time was reduced, and now bringing in AI, the development time is again going more and more down. So which is eventually helping businesses out there to focus on other aspects of their business and automate those stuff. So beautifully put. Thank you so much, Vinu and Kristen. I mean, now I think it's quite been a long conversation, but at the same time, just to wrap up this beautiful conversation here, you two have been friends for a very long time, and it's been a pleasant journey for sure with both of you. I mean, we have had the pleasure to host you here. To come to this, from 2019 to 2025, it's been quite a long journey. How's this partnership journey been, and what are you looking forward in the future?
Yeah, we've grown quickly in the last 5 years with our technical expertise and the solutions we're able to bring. But a lot of that is just keeping an open mind and a creative problem-solving mindset. When we're hitting barriers and roadblocks or even bugs, it's sometimes are we going to how are we going to address that? Is there another way we can go around with other services and still maintain the integrity of the entire system, right? So that journey has been really, really incredible. We've been able to learn so much from our clients and the industries that they're in, their challenges and the solutions they have. We've grown quickly to a Zoho Premium Partner over the last couple of years, and we were awarded this last year. Apparently, we closed the largest deal in the US in 2023, or for the 2023.
Huge congratulations to you and the team.
Thank you. And it would not have happened without the team effort. And as we take on larger and larger mid-enterprise clients, we need to be able to create, maintain quality across them to keep that high bar of solutions that we're delivering.
We had a great week here at Zoho. It was my first time in India, so it's been a good time. Really exciting to see the whole Zoho campus and everyone going about their business here. So, but yeah, lots of exciting things to look forward to. Continuing to grow our team. Like Vinu mentioned, we just opened our first actual physical office in the United States. So that's something that's coming in the next month, and continuing to learn and continuing to look forward to the new products and new implementations of Zoho Creator and the other Zoho products that are coming out.
Yeah, we've been very grateful to be here in Chennai. The experience that Zoho has been able to give us, it's amazing how much the campus has grown. I was here last year. I didn't know at the beginning that Zoho was in Chennai or from India, but my dad is from Chennai, so this has been very fortunate to be able to have that connection and bring this more to our life and tie that culture, share that with the team. And so I was here last year to see the campus, and it's incredible. Just like the apps and suites and the number of apps, the same number of buildings I'm seeing come out. It's really quite fascinating, but. And just like with our team, it's the Zoho people as well. Being able to shake your hand, and it's been really an incredible experience. So I'm looking forward to continue to collaborate together and come back and see what we can, what incredible solutions we can build for clients.
Likewise, it's been incredible meeting you both, knowing your journey, knowing your perspective on Creator and Creator Conversations. I think we have been bringing new stories, and that's super exciting for us to introduce to our audience that all these can be done on Creator, and there's endless possibilities. So it's never ending. So the possibilities are extending and extending. One last final question before we wrap up. I think I asked this to every single person out there. So one line or one word you would use to describe Zoho Creator. First, Kristin, and then we could go to Vinu.
Well, I'm gonna steal what maybe might yours be, but we're Nimbis. We are nimble, and I think Zoho Creator is extremely nimble. It really fits in with our whole, business mindset. Trying to just be as nimble as possible. plug it in where it needs to be plugged in, use it for larger builds. It really just, it kind of fits whatever it needs to fit. And it really helps us deliver really good products and solutions to our customers.
Good word choice.
Thank you. Were you going to use it?
I wasn't. That was
Wow.
awesome.
You put Vinu in
Slightly
a tough spot
different-
now.
Yeah. Slightly different, like I would say, creator is like creativity. Like you said, the possibilities are endless, but it's limited to the mind's eye. Like we like to say, we don't know what we don't know, right? So when we build, like clients come to us with a problem, that's sometimes even the first time we're envisioning that solution together. And that's such an incredible and fascinating experience. We love that design. I mean, it's Nimbis Designs, right? We love to work with stakeholders, understand their requirements, and build solutions that actually work for them. And it might be a simple kind of to what Kristen mentioned early. Translating a client from their original solution to Zoho. One of the best adoption often happens when, like, say it's a paper form, right? The Zoho Creator is laid out with the same fields in the same order as much as possible. Try and keep that, adoption by making the solution as similar to what they're doing, but allowing them to then upskill and get more familiar in the suite. And then once they get comfortable, clients start coming up with their own ideas as well. So it's this creative problem solving that we're able to do together that makes the Creator such a fascinating space, and one that I think that even as other solutions, bin solutions continue to increase in prevalence, Creator will always have a purpose and a home in business.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Vinu. Thank you so much, Kristin. I think Kristin is quite getting late for the flight, but thank you so much. It's been a beautiful conversation. It's been a pleasure to host you both, and to more such beautiful creative conversations in the future. Have a great 2025, guys.
Thank you so much.
Our pleasure.